Okay, people. So today, right, it's an AJ special, and I am joined by the great TC DeWitt and Danny J. Scott, who have just put out a tremendous new film.
Thank
So,
you for saying so.
TC,
Wow.
Danny,
Yes.
welcome to the pod. Thank you so much for your time. How are you both doing right now?
Well,
Good.
thank you, Kevin, for having us. Doing well. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing well.
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Enjoying the first week of release.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like how has that been, right? It dropped, was it the 26th of September?
Yep.
26th,
26th.
yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so it's been a few days.
hmm
hmm
Yeah.
What?
It's like as soon as it drops, we luckily we had a lot of support in the pre-orders, so we did have people like leading up to the release that like I got my download, it's right here, I'm ready
Nice.
for it to go, and so as soon as it drops, plenty of nice support from family and friends, and even more exciting, strangers. That's how we know we have something that we could truly be proud of is people who aren't obligated to tell us we're great to show up and be like, hey, this is great.
Yeah. No, it's been fun. It's the second movie we've done together, and so having it out into the world after years of working on it has been
Yeah.
feels like a big release. It feels like
Yeah, finally, because we did the table read for it in October of 2021.
I have no
Yeah,
idea.
October of 2021.
I've
No,
lost all
November
track.
of 2021. We did our table read. I pitched it to Dani. I was like, I think this might be the next thing we do, and she organized the table read, and then 4 years later, here we are.
That sounds so sad.
Oh God, that's right. COVID time doesn't count. That condenses
We
everything.
did film
Yeah,
the whole movie during
exactly.
COVID, so that the filming process alone was a long time
Mhm.
just because of COVID.
Yeah. But that's understandable. So,
Mhm.
but I
Honestly,
think,
it always worked out for the best.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't
well,
mean
exactly, right? It can take a long time. And if the movie sucks, then it's just like, man,
What have we
but
done?
when it turns out so well, then
to.
it's all gravy, man. And this was so good. I enjoyed the heck out of it.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you so much for saying that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We certainly have like for people who've made movies who as you said you invest so much time into it and you want it to be good, and you certainly see the joy in what you created, but I'm really proud of what we did. Like I look at it and go, even if my name wasn't involved with it, I look at it and go, this is cool. This is a cool
Mm,
thing. That's a cool thing. That's a cool thing.
It's a fun.
yeah. I mean, because no one sets out to make a bad film. You know what
No.
I mean?
No,
But
no.
when during the process, like at what point do you think to yourself, I think we've got something here?
When we shot the opening, that was the first thing we shot,
Yeah.
and like we shot it, and the team was so strong. And well, call me picky.
Particular.
I don't toot my own horn. I don't like act like something's good when it's not. I don't like I'm not delusional. I'm not just like this is great when I can see that it's like not.
Yeah.
I'll be really honest with myself. I'll be like, oh, that wasn't great. Moving on, learning experience. You know what I mean? I don't beat myself to death, but I'm also like that wasn't good enough.
Mm,
When we shot the opening, which was the first thing that we shot, the quality of the team was so high that it was the first time, like as a producer, that I was working with a group of people that I was like, oh no, we could make a movie out of this. This could be a feature. And then seeing the quality of the film afterwards, I was just like, okay, it looks really good. And then when the edit came together, I was like, okay, if we keep this same team, we can make the whole movie at this level. And that was kind of the agreement that we had going into it. I was like, I will never let anything be filmed that isn't at the level of what we shot the opening at. And I
yeah.
think that set the par that made it like really clear to everybody involved. Like from the beginning, I was like, nothing less than this.
Mhm.
Because the opening of the film, the first 5 minutes, that was the first thing we ever filmed. And so
Yeah.
that was kind of when I knew that I was like, I probably wouldn't have made, because we were initially going to be like, all right, well, let's shoot the short and see how we feel. Maybe we can turn it into a feature. But once we shot that, I was like, if we keep this, then it'll be good.
Okay, so the opening was like a proof of concept.
Pretty much,
Yeah,
yeah,
initially,
yeah.
yeah.
I wrote it that way. I wrote it that way so
Yeah.
that I was like, look, this is a full feature. Here's the screenplay.
Mm.
However, I wrote the cold open
Yeah.
as a contained beginning, middle, and end, and said, if we can do this and it works, but that's all it ever is, it'll be a really great short film.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
But luckily, we did it, and we looked at it and went, okay, let's do the whole movie.
Yeah.
Let's do the whole movie. Yeah, let's
We
do
did,
it.
and everybody else involved did too, because that was something. Our crew on this was fantastic. We had a very small crew,
Mm-hmm.
and pretty much everybody stepped up to the plate, and then those who didn't fell off pretty quickly just because it was so intense.
Yeah.
But the core crew on this was incredible, and they were there beginning, middle, and end. Like everybody showed up.
Yeah.
And I think and the actors. I would say the actors. The number of phone calls they got from me being like, "Oh, we haven't shot in 6 weeks, but get a haircut. We're filming this weekend. Let's go."
All right. Yeah. No, everyone delivers on this. It is just all the elements add up to a great whole. You know what I mean? That's what you feel once you finish this. But if you kind of, you thought let's do the proof of concept, right?
Yeah.
What do you say to everyone? Is it like at some point we might come back and we might make a feature? Like, how do you get, because it's easy to sign up for something if you think it's just going to be a few days, a week, or something like that. But then make that big commitment when you potentially have other projects and things, you know what I mean? So how did you play that aspect of things?
Yeah.
Do you want, well, because with producing it and stuff, it's kind of my job to put together the team to do it. That's kind of like a main job that, other than being an actor in it, putting together the team was a big part of my job. And so with doing the proof of concept, I was just really honest with people. I was like, especially the lead actor, Dustyn, who's incredible in the film. I gave him the whole script initially. And he thought I was having him read for a demon because the thing I'd seen him, the material he had sent me was of him being like the Joker in something. Yeah. So he was all makeup and he read it and he's like asking me these questions and I kind of had to realize, I was like, oh, no, I'm thinking of you for Miles for the lead of it. And he started crying on the phone with me. He's like, I felt so connected to the character. I was like trying to be cool about the demon, but like, oh my God, this is amazing. So like starting with that energy with your lead actor, which is obviously a huge part of that opening.
Yeah.
All him. I mean, the other team is like great. So yeah, it was initially I pitched him. And so when he came and I was really honest with him, I was like, we're going to see the quality of the short film. And then we'll see if we want to make the whole movie. And I did that with everybody. Like, so everybody came onto it knowing it's like, let's see, because it could just be a really fun short. Or if we all really like it and it works, we'll go for the feature. So yeah, just honesty, I guess.
and the opportunity for independent film is the independent film offers opportunities that like the big business doesn't. Dustyn saw the opportunity to be the lead in a movie. Like when she messaged him, sent him the script, his response was like, wow, whoever gets to play that Miles character sure is lucky. So when we told him it was, no, we want you to, what? Like the opportunity for Eugene and Dani to lead a film, that's not something that is easily gotten in this biz. So to have faith in the project and want to do it is part of the alchemy that makes a movie work as well as it does, is that desire to see it and go like, oh yeah, this would be so much fun to do. I'm going to give myself to it. And every department, everybody did that.
Throughout the long process of filming.
Matt Rascou, through COVID, Matt Rascou, who's our DP and editor, he has never DP'd a feature before. But we had worked with him on our previous film. He acted in Christmas Sunset. And he does great like social media, short film, stylistically matching things. So he did a thing for Tenet, and he matched the look of Tenet.
Yeah.
So I went to Dani and said, I think I know who should film this. I think it should be Matt, even though he's not a DP. At least at the point in time, he wasn't. He would never sell himself as that. I said, I really think he's the right guy to do this. He'll understand the look we're trying to achieve. And he did it himself too. He's like, I'll tell you what, I'll shoot the proof of concept opening. I'll shoot the opening, and if you want to replace me, that's fine. No hard feelings. But he went in 1,000% every step of the way, and that level of desire and passion to want to do it is how we were able to work around people's lives and schedules to make this happen.
Yeah, and he's an actor as well, and he acts in the movie.
He plays Brennan. He's Brennan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
good.
Everybody kind of jumped in. Everybody was wearing multiple hats on this for sure. He's a hand model in it about 1,000 times.
My hand is in the movie like 7 times. Yeah.
It's like his foot. He's always like a little bit in the movie.
I think having people that are so committed to something is, you know what I mean, that's definitely a plus, right? But there is something in seeing that thing. You know what I mean? Like having people that haven't had an opportunity, but you go, they can do it.
Yes.
Well, I worked in casting before going back to acting and producing. I worked in casting. So a lot of the people in the film I knew from casting them in things where they were always coming in for auditions and they were always so good and they were maybe getting it or maybe not, but they were all small things on TV shows, which paid great. It's awesome. But it's not, if you don't get to be on set every day as an actor, getting to sink your teeth into something. And I mean, there's so much hunger and talent in Los Angeles. I think LA gets a bad rep, but there are people here that are working hard and are talented and are just
passionate.
Yeah. But they're just not getting those opportunities. They're getting, like little things, which is great. I'm so appreciative of every job I've ever gotten. But the opportunity to do this, like, that's why I think a lot of people really stepped up, is everybody here was doing the job. Everyone on the movie was doing the job they want to do.
Yeah.
As opposed to the job that, like, Shayna, who killed on special effects, makeup, and hair. She was the head of the department. You know what I mean? Like, she ran that whole area. We brought in several different people. It was always under her. So she was getting to do what she wanted to do. She was design the demons with me and him. And like going through, her and I are just sending each other prosthetics in the middle of the night for months, just being like, what do we think of this? Let's make her a witch. Let's give these demons a story. That was really important to me, that everything had a story and everything connected, as well as him, of course. But yeah, everybody got to do the job. Their dream job is what I was trying to create for most people. I would say some people were a helping hand. We have a lot of really good, amazing friends who helped a lot. And it wasn't their dream, to be honest. It was just a favor, but
yeah,
for the most part.
Yeah. But I think the thing is, right, because I've met so many people that say, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then you kind of go, oh, shit, really? So what are you doing to get to that? And nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Or
Waiting.
you give them you open things up and then they just don't deliver anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's
very true. Yeah.
Taking that risk on people, but having that faith that they're going to actually step up, right? There is something in choosing the right person.
Yeah, that's a big part of, I've always told TC, I always want to be the worst actor in every film that I produce. Like, if I'm going to act in it, I want to be the worst actor. I want the acting to be so good that I'm the worst actor in it.
Yes.
That's so important to me. But I will say, I don't think we had anybody audition for parts in this film, but I did know every actor. Besides the celebrity, the bigger names, I didn't know them personally.
Sure.
I knew their work.
We did do some auditioning for Uzgaroth, the character that Doug Jones ultimately played, and we could not find the right person for it. Yeah. We tried a few times.
Oh yeah, we did release it. Yeah. I forgot we did.
Because then eventually, because we did some casting for it, and eventually Dani, because we couldn't click. Yeah. So she just came to me and she's like, "What was in your head? What did you write? What did you see?" And I said, "Well, we'll never get him, but Doug Jones." She got on the call, like got on the phone immediately, and within like 24 hours, the script was in his hand, and I'm just like, "Is this happening right now?"
Boy. Oh, that's crazy.
But Doug too it goes to that, like, wanting to, like, the opportunity to really do something that you want to do. And Doug was excited by the script, and the opportunity to not be covered head to toe in makeup and actually see
Yeah,
his
that was really
face.
important to him.
Yo, that's exactly what I said in my review, right? Because we've seen Doug in so many big things,
Yeah,
but he's wearing a mask, he's got prosthetics on, and all of this, and he does that well.
yeah, of
Mhm.
course.
We never really know what he can do, right? His mannerisms, and in this, we get to we
I
get to
His
see that.
face,
Yeah.
his eyes. He's not wearing
Yes.
contacts in it. It's his body. All we did was because the demon, I don't think this is a spoiler, was torn apart in a previous existence.
Yeah.
Scars on his body, and that's the only prosthetic that Doug
Yeah.
wears in the.
Mm,
It was a big part of choosing his wardrobe in it, and he was a dream on
Oh my
set. We
gosh.
couldn't have asked for a better human being.
Yeah, Doug is just incredible, and he sort of is very representative of this whole project of not being hidden behind makeup, not being in the role you are put in, but the role you want to be in. And that goes back to our crew and our cast of all these people who are like, oh, I don't just have to be a PA or a gaffer. I can actually like be on the team, and oh, I don't just have to be an extra in the background. I actually have lines. Like it's that dream. That's what independent film offers time and time again. You get the chance to do what you want to do. You don't have to wait for permission to do it.
Yeah. And Doug was, I can't speak highly.
Yeah, Doug.
Like we had set up this whole thing where he could be away from everybody and have his own thing. And he literally got a plane because we were on a set that had multiple locations and we were the only ones there. So he rented out a second part of it that was a full plane
Like a fake,
set.
like a set.
Yeah, it was like a full plane set. And we're like, you have the whole plane set to yourself. And he's like, you're casting me aside? And we're like, no, we just wanted you to have your own area. And he never went in there.
He stayed
He
on
picked
set.
his clothes there. And then it was like, I was like, it's COVID, Doug. You have to like stay over here. He was so social and so wonderful.
Stayed on
And
set the whole time.
like so kind, and he stayed afterwards to read. Even after he was wrapped, he stayed until the end so the other actors could read with him. Like he was beyond a dream.
Oh, that's tremendous to hear.
Yeah, right. I was so shocked. I was like, okay, you're wrapped. Thank you so much. And he's like, well, what about his coverage? And I was like, well, yeah, we can read with him. And he's like, oh,
I'm staying. I'm staying.
He stayed the whole time. And Daryl was just like beside himself. Daryl played
Balsamette,
our
red rafty.
Yeah.
Fantastic actor.
Daryl was on from the beginning and didn't even know his character would be involved in more than the first part of the movie.
Yeah.
So when he got to come back, he was excited. And then when he saw the call sheet, he was like, hold up. Is that D Jones? Is this happening right now? He was
So sweet. He's like, I have to, because we're friends. And he's like, I have to go call my manager. You didn't tell me. And I was like, oh yeah, I wanted it to be a surprise. And he's like,
consider me surprised.
Just a little kid. I loved how much this movie brought out like the little kid in everybody.
The joy.
Yeah, everybody was so joyful.
Well, it's so good, right? Like, where did the idea come from? Because I mean, we've had kind of, magician detect. We had certain things kind of like it, and there was Constantine back in the day.
Certainly Constantine, yep.
But now, I don't know if you've read them, but Mike Carey has a book series about a character called Felix Castor, which is tremendous.
Yes,
and he is a Miles type character.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah,
you know those books?
I do, yeah. Definitely drew inspiration from like Constantine, Planetary, some of the more like where you asked where the idea came from. We had done Christmas Sunset was our first feature together, and it's a great drama. It's a holiday drama. Like we were really proud of it, but no one was really interested in it. And I've been
nobody wanted a sad, depressing Christmas movie that had a ton of cussing. So much cussing. We're like, oh yeah, Christmas movies don't typically have that much cussing.
Damn it sounds like my kind of film.
We did that. I knew, I was like, listen, horror is the most accepting, welcoming, forgiving, loving genre that anyone can work in. If it's great, people love it. If it's bad, people love it. If it's anywhere on the spectrum of the genre, people are eating it up. So I wanted to play in that genre. And I'd done some short films in horror. Actually did an Exorcist type, detective type horror movie many years ago that could even be the seed of the idea that grew into this. But I wanted to, even in the fun of this movie, which has some adventurous qualities to it, I wanted the horror to be more than just blood and slasher stuff, which is fine. I worked on a Friday the 13th movie. I know the fun of that, but I wanted to tell a story that was character driven. So coming up with a flawed character, tortured past, classic trope of the noir genre, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to play with something that would be dramatic and fun and a character exploration for everyone involved. And so the idea started brewing in that, like, okay, a horror movie dealing with that. And the idea of a ghost hunter like the Winchesters, I'm literally wearing a Supernatural shirt right now, in the vein of Ghostbusters, in the vein of other, like Constantine already name dropped that, right? I wanted to do something like that. And I also wanted to do something that Dani would want to make. So I knew it couldn't be a goofy ass comedy.
I like.
I know. We could definitely have fun.
We needed to find something that we could actually like.
Make,
we're gonna make. Yeah, it's like comedies are harder to sell when nobody knows what you
Right.
can do. You have to show when you're at the beginning of your career. You have to show you what you can do in a thing that.
Yeah.
Was
Show
where
that
you're at. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like you said, horror is a very welcoming genre. So it's like when you're starting out making movies, I was like, oh, this is a smart choice.
Yeah, and the monsters and creatures and ghosts and demons within the movie, I assigned them in my head as traumas, so that even if it's subtextually, even if only I know what all the ghosts and ghouls and goblins within the movie are actually representing. Another wonderful thing about horror is it's a good reflection, like science fiction, a great reflection of who we are and where we are. And so I tried to put that into the subtext again, even if only I knew it was there, what each thing represented in terms of the traumas we try to overcome. And so the idea grew from that of like, art is therapy in so many ways, and everyone, and I think artists tend to be more empathetic and deal with their emotions in big ways. So using the scripts that I write as an outlet for, I'm not so bold to say that I'm like, I just using it as a way for me to go, I need to put myself here in one way or another, whether it's the levity or the drama.
But I will say an initial concept when you pitched it to me. So we hang out in a trio. Our friend Jim, who he does a podcast with, The Studio Demands It. And the initial concept kind of idea of it was when he was writing it, he was like, oh, I was thinking the three of us, because we like hang out all the time.
That's true.
And he was like, oh, like us in a horror movie fighting demons, what would we be like? And that kind of, I know that was an inspiration, like movies and other things, but his actual life with the three of us and things that we're like, is kind of what inspired the trio of the film of
certainly
Miles, Teddy, and
Clara.
Yeah,
the write what you know, right? Whether you know it or not, you write what you know. And
I think it also helps develop the relationship.
Yeah.
Although you ended up having to add a little bit more, like you and Jim are like this, which that was obviously adjusted in the movie for a little bit more of a dramatic effect to make their relationship not so perfect.
True.
Yeah, no, I just thought, because I love those Felix Castor books, right? And I've read a good few of the Constantine comics, like Warren Ellis's run is great. I did not like the film.
No.
Did not like the film at all.
As an adaptation, I completely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah,
removing the name from it and then looking at it. We were actually lucky enough to have the sound designer from the Keanu Reeves Constantine was our sound designer as well. Charles Maines actually worked on both. So, nice. But yeah, to your, go ahead. You were saying you don't.
Yeah, no, but I thought this was tremendous. Like, I thought this was far superior to Constantine.
Wow. I will. Thank you. I don't have to have lunch today. That's very validating. You're going to sustain me, my friend.
That's a whole meal.
Go on.
No, because it's an indie film, but the special effects were tremendous, right?
Yeah,
When you think of stuff like that Star Trek Section 31 film,
Yep.
right? I did not enjoy the special effects on, like, they were so glaringly obvious that it's super, you know what I mean? It just didn't
I do.
feel like a whole. But this, what you were able to do,
Thank you. Yeah.
man, it was so good.
We had Matt once again coming, learning about special effects to work on this, which is crazy. But he's so brilliant. And then Joseph out of Africa, he actually does a YouTube show for teaching special effects. And we reached out to him and was like, hey, we're trying to do this thing on a gym floor. And he's like, yeah, can I just use it for my YouTube channel?
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah,
please.
yeah. That was fun because I've never worked with somebody who lives in Zambia.
Yeah.
So like contacting him, doing payment, dealing with that. And then we had a couple of local people that we knew that had dabbled in special effects that helped, because there are a lot of special effects in the movie that you can't see.
You'd never know that
there was one where I had makeup under my eye for an entire scene that we didn't catch. And I was like, I'll cut this whole scene before I will let that in this movie. That looks so bad. And then Matt was like, we'll take it out. Yeah. And then he just went through and painted my face for an entire scene. I was like, absolutely not. Because to me, it's really important to, like, I didn't want the movie to look cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'll cut a scene before I'll let it look cheap. And I told them that from the beginning. So just be prepared for that. Like, if it isn't at the quality level that I expect, cut it. There's only a few scenes we don't have to cut in this movie to make them work.
The real trick of our visual effects was we got as much in camera as possible. So having Shayna Paulson on our visual effects team, our special effects makeup,
I barely had to add anything.
Yeah, so full body paint, and then getting as much in camera with lighting and like some nice visual effects with light cues in camera only allowed us to enhance within the post-production process.
And I think a lot of indies try to fly by the seat of their pants, and we didn't do that. We went in, everything that we shot, you see on screen. Like, we didn't do 80 coverages per scene. We didn't have time. We shot this in 20 days. So it's like, So it was like every time we went into film, we knew exactly what we were filming. Like, and it also kept the actors fresh. Like, we weren't doing this, and this, and that. Like, okay, we're going to use this part in the film. We would rehearse. And it's like, okay, we're going to drop into what we need. Like, we're going to shoot a wide, but then we're going to drop into the coverage we need. And we might not cover that because we don't need it.
We never shot a master shot in any scene of the movie. We never shot the whole thing in wide and then went in for close-ups. Matt and I worked really diligently and much to our 80s, very much happiness, we worked really hard to go, we know this right here needs to be close-up. We know this right here needs to be this moving tracking shot. We're not going to waste our time getting stuff we know isn't going to make it in the final
cut. And we did the same thing with visual effects.
It's
like we know what's a visual effect. We know what we need to get into camera. We know the coloring we want to use. And that's Matt and TC did that. They just like would tell me, and I'd be like, I like it or I don't like it. I was terrible. I don't understand it. I just know when I like something or I don't.
Our AD would come up to us. We had more than one occasion where Ren would come up to us and go, hey, you guys are like an hour ahead of schedule. And we'd be like, shh, don't tell anyone that, okay? We're on schedule. Just leave it at that. Like, because we were so efficient about getting what we needed and what we didn't and what we didn't.
I mean, that's smart, right? Because time is money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so many things can come up, right, that you don't plan for, which then can delay a shoot. So if you are so precise on everything, you kind of give yourself that leeway
and you can kind of do crazier stuff with your time then. Like filming the whole sequence. We filmed in the movie, Miles' apartment is actually my apartment. We got permission from the building to film there in my hallway, around my building, and then in it. And I unfortunately couldn't be there for any of that shooting. Luckily, I wasn't in it. My character wasn't in it because I got COVID. So like literally COVID was always coming up.
Yeah.
So a U-Haul had to be rented. My whole apartment had to be put into a U-Haul without me. Because I wasn't even like, I didn't have the physical symptoms of COVID. I had tested positive, so I was sequestered. But it was like, a crazy amount of that, and then them just like radioing me because I had done all of the set design and props and everything. I'd put all that together. I'd put all together like all the costuming and wardrobing and stuff like that.
Right.
And so I had to approve everything, but I couldn't be there.
Just doing it through the phone.
And so like those type of things came up, especially with filming during COVID. But because we were so tight on everything, like that sequence, we built a whole apparatus to be able to move him down the hall like that we did.
Yeah, it's
and like creating that like something that would be hard and in a big movie take a week to film. We filmed it in a day.
Yeah, we built a rig so that the sequence where Miles is coming down the hallway, he's lifted off the ground. We built a rig so the camera could be on the rig, Dustyn could step up on it, and we could film down like and just like we essentially created a dolly. I mean, that's not like we're creating anything brand new, but we built it to the specifications of the hallway. This is Matt again being so particular about how he wants to film it, and so we were able to do the whole sequence. And we
used that again in the fountain scene.
Yeah,
we weren't allowed to put a tripod on the ground in this park in Grand Park without spending $10K, which of course we didn't have. They're like, no tripod can touch the ground. So we're like,
okay, we'll put it on this rig.
Put it on a rig, and they were like, but there was one visual effects shot that we needed to put the tripod on the ground because it couldn't move. And as soon as that tripod hit the ground, those guards were
hey, your permit.
They let us film it. I was like, I just need 2 minutes, man. I just need 2 minutes. And he's like, why aren't you filming right now? I was like, well, technically I'm in it. So I have to be like over there. And he's like, 2 minutes starts right now. And so I ran over, we shot it, and then we were like done.
And that's the efficiency of knowing what we needed for the visual effects, knowing what we needed in
and
camera.
Filming everything. Like Matt and I talked about it. He's like, I have to put the tripod on the ground. It's a visual effects thing. So we knew there was a visual effects thing. We knew that me, Eugene, and Dustyn, who are the other two lead actors, had to be on our knees looking out over the pond to get the shot that we needed. And he's like, and the camera can't move at all because it'll look terrible in post. And I was like, okay. He's like, but I have to. And so I was like, all right, I'm ready. And so we filmed everything. I was like, make sure you have everything.
Last thing.
And then our friend Chad was there because, of course, we were shooting in downtown Los Angeles. So there was a person there that was like, he literally was just over there, like feeding this person food and keeping them quiet so we could film the movie. Like, it was very guerrilla. And as soon as that tripod hit the ground, I was like, and we were anticipating it, hoping that they would at least give us 15 seconds.
Great.
Yeah. They watched us for hours film. How many hours did they watch us film? Didn't say a word because the tripod didn't touch the ground. And it's like, crazy. It was definitely pretty. It was very guerrilla.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yo, that's some crazy shit.
Yeah.
That scene is a huge credit to Luke Murray, who led our sound team, because we shot. There's a fountain going the whole time.
So beautiful.
Yeah, so we had to ADR the whole scene, which we knew was going to happen anyway.
Yeah,
it's just amazing to see the magic he did with the audio, getting us in the booth getting the actors in the booth to re-record their ADR and like. Yeah, seeing the raw footage, it's a lot of like.
No, you can't hear anything they're saying. There's a huge, giant fountain. I mean, it looks so cool, and we knew it going in, and we kind of pitched the idea to Luke. I was like, because he knows how I feel about sound, that it's like acting and sound are the two things you can never fix. Like, it'll make a movie bad. Like you can deal with lighting, you can deal with a set changing a little bit, and your mind can go along with those tricks. I can't follow like sound or bad acting.
Yeah.
Like if those things happen in a movie, I'm out.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't want to do this. I would rather film it in a park without the fountain if we can't make it sound good. And that was just me and him in his bedroom looking at everyone's mouths, being like, okay, let's line it up.
Frame by frame.
I did nothing other than have an opinion because I have no skills outside of opinions.
But super diligent. Luke is one of those.
He's one of those 2 a.m.
essentials.
calls.
Yeah. 2 a.m. but essential. Yeah. I will like
from
him.
day one.
Day one, I'm like
Devin, Shayna, Matt.
Janet,
our team was our
just
team.
Always want to work with them. Movie comes up, like, is Luke free?
Yeah, they're all
hey, well, you definitely had a solid team with this because, yeah, it just works across the board, which is great.
Thank you.
A thing that I definitely thought was interesting because, as you said, you've got the character and he's, haunted past, and so you have certain tropes, that we see all the time. But what I really liked, because in a lot of films, you've got like your lead, and he's got like a sidekick kind of person who doesn't really do anything. They get saved a lot, right? But they don't have the same powers. You know, they're the weaker person. They're always in the background. But Pin,
Yeah.
Pin's got powers. Pin ain't just a what's that? Something violet, a freaking violet, not a freaking violet.
Shrinking violet.
That's it. Boom.
Not a shrinking violet. No.
Yes, not a shrinking violet. Like Pin can hold shit up.
Right. He saves Miles 3 times in the movie.
Yes.
They weren't really the sidekick and main character. Obviously, they're the demon detective. We're dealing with his story in this movie.
Miles' story, yeah.
Yeah, Miles' story. But there's another movie for Pin. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Pin was like, and Eugene is just fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
He's such a great actor.
When I wrote it, I wrote him as the sidekick character. But the first thing I told Eugene and Dustyn, I said, listen, especially important for Eugene to know this, you are equal. You two are equals. You are partners in crime, partners in your work.
Partners in demons.
And Eugene, truthfully, all the actors elevated the stuff I wrote to a level I could only have dreamed to have achieved. But Eugene really crafted this wonderful character using the material that was there for him already. But Pin became such an even better character than I could have hoped for with his acting choices and his delivery and taking that first note. I was like, you and Dustyn, to his credit as well, and until the script asks for it, talks to him as a friend, as an equal. They are partners.
Yeah. And it's just like those bits when, you know, like Miles is just like, don't do that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times someone's like, oh yeah, I'm really sorry. Like Pin's just like, hey, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no backing down. It is that equal situation. And it's extremely refreshing to see.
Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that and seeing that. That was something that was important to me, because Jim, who helped, associate produce, and I co-write with him a lot. I give him a lot of my scripts to read.
He's a producer. You said associate producer.
Oh, sorry, producer on the film. I apologize.
Sorry, I'm going to make sure I give credit.
Of course, credit.
Got to give credit where credit's due. He is a bona fide producer on the film.
Yes, Jim and I discuss often, like, sidekicks. The side characters are often the better characters in the movie because they get to do more of the fun stuff. They're more interesting. And so he was, just as someone I discuss writing with, also was very happy as someone who sees himself as a sidekick in real life. He was like, I love Pin. I was like, yeah, truth. Like Dani had mentioned, the very seed of this idea was Dani, myself, and Jim. And I don't know which one of us is Pin, Jim or me, because I love.
You wrote it with you being Miles, and then after you wrote it, you were like, I feel more like
more like a Pin
because Pin's funny. Miles is, and like PC is sweet and playful and funny. Has a lot of comedy to everything that he does, and just in life. And Miles is so serious.
So serious.
Yeah.
He's like, I wrote it.
Yeah, no, Pin is a great character, right? There's another thing that I kind of thought, that I like the fact that we don't start at the beginning.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like we slide into something that has been established. That's what it kind of feels like, that we're like viewing this thing, but you get it. You know, there doesn't need to be this explanation, like a demon detective is, you know what I mean? It's like it all started in 1750. Like, there's none of that, but you get it.
I don't like to treat audiences like they're stupid. I think you have to treat people with intelligence, and some people might get them. Their friends can explain it to them, or they can have theories about what it means. I'd rather have people have theories about what something means than handhold them through an explanation of something. It's make-believe.
Yeah.
And like, we're making stuff up. We followed, obviously, Catholicism is a part of the film, and we try to be respectful to that religion, because you never want to be I don't ever want to like be mean to people, like entire groups of people, and be like, hey, I'm just going to borrow the things I like to tell a story, but then I'm going to be mean. So obviously it has those notes in it because of the story and everything like that. I forgot, I lost my train of thought, but yeah.
No, the starting in the middle, essentially starting with these characters are existing. I would Raiders of the Lost Ark. Indiana Jones exists. He's hits the ground running.
Yeah.
He's been doing this for who knows how long. Certainly one of my favorite movies of all time, and conscious or subconsciously drawing from something like that, where it's just let's just step into this world. We're going to welcome you into it, and the movie itself ends in such a way where it's an ellipsis. It's not a full period. This chapter is over, but it doesn't end with a triumphant the end. It ends with a ... and now what? And so it opens and closes with an ellipsis in a way.
Yeah. Well, it kind of ends like real life. You know what I mean? But you don't end the day like, well, we're done. You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, I'll see you tomorrow. Or, oh man, like what else can we do to add to this thing? And because it feels like a very fleshed out world.
Thank you. Yes.
Right? It feels like this fleshed out world with so many stories. You know, like Abby. We don't see a lot of Abby, but there feels like there's this wealth of knowledge and substance around that, and the way Miles and Pin interact with it, that you just like, oh, there's so much there.
Yes, yeah, certainly gotta give a shout out to Adrienne Barbeau, another dream to work with the legendary Adrienne Barbeau,
and she was just wonderful.
Oh my gosh, another just angel.
Yeah, I can't express enough how wonderful our cast was. They were just, and Adrienne was just so great. She was like one of the first things that we filmed, and I worked so hard to get her in the movie because I had Criminal Minds. She was recurring on Criminal Minds, and I worked in casting on that show, and I was like, oh, she was great, and I was just like, oh, she would be perfect. And
she was.
Then when she just came in, it was just like, oh.
She came with ideas. She came with questions. It was really wonderful.
Yeah, she was just really fun to be around and just brought everything up and has stayed so interested throughout. And it was really cool when we did ADR. It was the first time Doug and Adrienne met. So two like titans of horror met at a ADR booth in Burbank, and they just like talking about like everything, and it was so cool. We were just sitting there like, this is so cool that. Why are we the people facilitating this? Like, who am I?
But she brought so much to the character, which gives that feeling of, oh, there's so much more story to tell in this. And that was also a deliberate choice in our design of this, in the way the dialogue is spoken, the information, reading between the lines and what's said and unsaid, to go like, this is a world where this exists. There are some stupid YouTubers who are literally doing the same thing, and it's a world where that some people will acknowledge it, some people won't. There's a full like we even had this is a discussion of like the post-production process and making those necessary cuts to tighten up story and tighten up flow and pacing, and we removed this tiny little bit of information that there's like a convention that deals with this part of the world, and me as the writer was like, okay, do we have to? I love every, but me as the director was like, cut it.
Well, I love the sequence where it's just like, well, I left the church. Yes, I was kicked out. It's like,
well, there's the story for that, like what happened.
Yeah,
like what? Yeah, it's just like, oh my. Like what could that have been? Like what led to all of this? And it's just, just there's that hesitancy, throughout the film leading up to that bit of seeing Abby. So then it's just like, oh man, like there's so much here. It's just like because what I thought of watching this, like getting to the end, was like what AMC is doing with Interview with the Vampire. You know what I mean? Because I think what They've got the Talamascus show, Mayfair of the Witches. I think there's another one, and they're all
Expanding the
dealing with
world every
different.
direction.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we've had a lot of interest. When we first started taking it out to the world, there was a lot of interest in turning into a TV show. Like that's what we got the most hits on of people, and like it was
Series?
almost a show for I don't want to say it because it got pretty far along in the process of being turned into a show.
Mm.
And then there was a hiccup with where they were like, well, we don't have to release the movie, and we're like,
Oh, the movie has
no,
to
we
come
have
out.
to release the movie. Like we're not
Mm.
going to take the concept without any guarantee of release of the film because it wasn't fair to everybody that worked on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, no, we told you from the first meeting our priority was releasing the movie, and they, it got so far into the process. I think they thought that we would just give in and be
Mhm.
like, yeah, no, it's worth it for the money to just do the TV show. And we're like, no, we
No,
want
movie. Yeah.
we are down to do a TV show and move to Australia and do all this stuff, but like we want our movie to come out. Like this, like these actors deserve this. This like we
Yeah.
want our movie to come out.
And if the movie is strong enough that you want to know more about the world, we have the answers. We know the way I take a page out of George Miller's Mad Max universe, which is you see something on screen that might seem insane, he's got an answer for it. Whether you understand what that answer is or not, that even if it's just in your core, you go, I don't know what that is, but they know what it is.
But there's more.
Yeah. I mean, because Babylon 5 started off with the film,
That's right.
right? Like so many things start off with a film. So it makes no sense to be like, let's not do because the film is the window to the universe.
Right.
Yeah,
Right?
and they had said, that they were like, we want to, but we're not going to guarantee it. And we're like,
Yeah, no.
we wouldn't do anything without a guarantee of the release of the film. So.
Yeah, it just makes no sense.
It's
Because you get people's interest, you wet their beak, and then there's because the film tells a segment, right? And the show can then delve into so many things, right? You planted a seed, and now we can branch off all over the shop, right? You can tread back to some bits from the film, but it gives you so much room.
Sure.
So it just
I
makes
totally
sense
agree.
to work it like that.
I'm hoping. Oh, sorry.
But sorry to interrupt. It's also important though that the movie stand on its own, because I think a mistake that a lot of people make, whether it's all the way at the top of the food chain in Hollywood or at the indie level, is expecting, we're going to do 4 movies and we're going to do it. It's like, you know what? Make a good thing and know you could do more, as opposed to we're going to make a trilogy and only make 1 movie. So it as much as it was so much fun to develop the lore and have like the expand, like
have you write an entire season of a show?
Yeah, like I've got it, but it's like also
there it exists.
The movie is right here, it's contained, and as you said, leave people wanting more, and making theories as opposed to giving them all the answers. It's that's certainly important for me as a writer to go like, let's have a clear, coherent story that you can enjoy, but if you want more.
Well, and that was something too that I always found with this film that I caught on early on. I was like, God, so many people like hold so many things close to their vest with creative projects, and they don't share.
Yes,
and I was always like, no, share stuff. Approve it through me. Don't, because I don't want to like have issues, and I have a pretty good brain for that kind of stuff in the future. But I was like, share the movie, and we only ever saw great things with creating good art and sharing it with people, and not hiding it, not being weird about it. We encouraged. We ended up getting financing because we encouraged people to share clips. They were like, show it to us before you post a clip, but like share the film. And that happened, and somebody expressed interest. So I think my thing with, deciding to release a movie on our own as opposed to giving it to another company and then letting them make it into a show and release the movie or not. I was like, no, we've always followed with share. We shared the script with people. If people wanted to read the script, we let them see the script. Crazy.
Gave them the whole thing.
You never hear that in Hollywood anymore.
Kevin, you want to read the whole script? I'll send it to you.
We shared it. Like we shared the script. We shared the clips of the film. We were never shy about getting the movie out there. Obviously until it was done, and then we had to get a little bit more
protected.
The actors all wanted material, and I was like, yeah, you can't have that scene. You can have this scene. I was always like, no, we're not putting that out because I don't trust you not to post it. They're like, it's just for my acting pitch. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, sorry, I'm not doing this in my movie. I made it. If you want to make the rules, make your own movie. I'm not letting you do it. And I have no problem. I have 10 brothers and sisters. I have no problem telling people no. Which makes me a good producer.
Good producer.
Fun to do acting scenes with. I tried to be two different people. I'm a Gemini. That comes naturally to me. But yeah, so I feel with this, I have like a hope in my heart or something, like with creating the film and putting it out there, that people will see it and they'll like it and then be like, oh, because so many people are like, this could be a TV show. This could be I want to know more about this world. And I'm like, okay, well, here's the initial world. If you want to make more out of it, come talk to us, because we're so down to like create more of this world. And the characters are so fun. The actors are so willing. Everybody who worked on it, we treat our people really well. Like you said, we were pretty much always ahead of schedule. There were some days that went long, but I don't like long days, because as an actor, I know that it doesn't matter if we are saving money if the acting is shit.
Yeah. Oh.
If the crew is falling apart and they're not lighting things properly because they can't see clearly because they've been working for too long. We just we didn't do that on this film. There was like one day that went long and we knew it and we warned everybody. We're like, it's going to be long. And it's going to be overnight. Come prepared.
I think there is something to this, right? Because you both worked as actors.
Mm-hmm.
So that knowledge, it feels like that knowledge has really influenced a lot of the decisions that you made.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which only benefits the end product.
I think
you know
so.
what I mean? Yeah, I mean, sorry, I was just going to say, like, how valuable do you think it is to understand the other elements of production?
It's when I first started working in film, I was producing with Chad Halverson, who also worked on this movie. He brought me on as a writer, the first paid project I ever had. He brought me on as a writer. And I was very much like, I'm just the writer. I don't want to dip my hands in anyone's. I'm not going to cross lines. You do your thing. I'm going to do my thing. And at a starting point, that's great. Know what you are there to do and do it well. But as time went on, I realized feigning ignorance, or not feigning, like even having ignorance about lenses and how the camera, like the tech of it, the craft of it, knowing everyone's department. I started learning everything I could so that I could communicate with the other people in the department, and each like the camera, the lighting, the sound, like to understand the full language of cinematic storytelling could only help you. And coming from an actor perspective, that also helps to be able to know how to communicate performance, to be able to be an actress as well as a producer. It's not that. Sometimes it's essential to wear 10,000 hats when working on something, but wearing those hats well, that's
for sure. There.
I think with this film, for me, I kind of have a little bit of a different approach to things, because I don't understand technology. I'm like kind of technology averse type person. I understand what each department does, but my thing as a producer is I was like, I want to find the best person to head this that I trust, so I can be like, hey, I trust you. Like Matt. Matt so much with what he was doing. Matt and Devin were kind of our core, and then they brought in other people, but they were the core of the camera team. And I trust both of them. He could communicate with them. I didn't communicate. I would be like, oh, that wasn't really what I thought. Like, what's your thought behind this when we talk, that kind of stuff. But other than that, I kind of like let them do their thing. Same thing with like every other project I had done before, shorts and A Christmas Sunset, I was like on top of the makeup person, because I'm, I want people to look good. I'm particular. But I also know what it feels like to work on an indie project and then see the material as an actor and look like shit, and you can't use it.
Yeah,
like, I can't use that. I don't look good. I'm like, who did, like, what? So who was watching the screen when this? So I'm kind of a freak about that. And every project I've ever had that I produced, I had to be on top of the makeup person. Like, change this, do this. Where are they? Why aren't they on set? The first day of filming the proof of concept, I went to go looking for Shayna for something, and they're like, oh, she's on set doing touch-ups. And I cried. And I am not a crier. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And like the work that she did, and I was like, oh my God, I can let go of makeup. But there was always communication.
Yeah.
So there's an understanding of what makeup does, but there's also a release into letting people do their job. And I was able to do that with like sound with Luke. Was I there for everything? Was I part of the department? And I was not a part of the department. So like communicating with them, yes. But I'm also a big supporter of finding that person to do it and then letting them go. Whereas at the flip of the coin, if I don't find that, I will do it myself, and I will go in and I will be like, that's why I did locations. That's why I did costuming, because I'm just like, every actor came to my house and I dressed them, and we had help. Particularly, Jessica came in and helped with Doug, and she did it. For the majority of the film, I was very props. I didn't want cheap looking props. I didn't want it to be just you grab this thing and then that works. So I was like, no, I want him to have a razor cell phone. I want him to be old school. I want details. I feel like good films are in the minutia of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like tiny little things that your brain, you don't realize when it's not there, that your brain catches it. But I'm a freak about that kind of stuff. I love the little tiny details.
Yeah. Yes. No, you are speaking my language, Dani, because there is so many times, right? You watch a film and it's like maybe it's muddy or they're in a desert and they're wearing white. And then they go on this big chase and then they get to the location and they're like, firstly, they run all this way. It's sweltering hot. They're not sweating at all.
Yeah,
there's no mud on their white clothes. Their hair is perfect. And you're just like, what? Well, how am I meant to believe that this just happened? Because they wouldn't look like that.
Yeah, the devil's in the details.
It's all in the details. Like in set design to me is huge. Like I believe every location is a new character in the film and should be just as thoroughly thought out as an actor thinks out their character. So like I'm like art in every scene. I don't want, unless it's absolutely necessary, I don't want anything to be blank or empty. Like finding that warehouse to do that scene in and then bringing stuff in. Like it looks like it's massively set designed, but it was a cool set. And then I brought in little things and I was like, and then we were just filming in a way that makes it look like the whole thing is like this. And then we'll just try to cut around it to just have those like where it looked like a life had lived here.
Yes.
And so knowing those departments and understanding the details of sound and picture and design and production, and then putting the right people in those places.
Putting the right people is like
it's
so
essential. But and not so you don't have to micromanage. You don't have to like I don't need to touch the camera because I know Matt's the right guy doing what. And there's some great moments through the movie, handful of moments where he and I would notice something at the same time. Like if we were shooting from a certain angle and it's lit a certain way, we'd like do 2 takes and we'd cut and we'd look at each other and like almost like brain synced, mind melded, go, this isn't working.
But this is working.
This is working, or it is working.
Yeah. I think in finding a good partner to make films with, like TC and I have a good partnership. If you can't tell, we kind of look at things differently enough. Like he'll pick up in areas that I'm just like, I can't. I just fall apart. Whereas there's areas where I'm like, no, I know how to do this. And I get it. And he's just like, I mean, he'll be like, oh, that looks fine. And I was like, no, there needs to be more layers. It needs to be more depth. He's like, it looks good. And I'm like, whereas like camera stuff, I'm like, is it on?
Is the camera right?
Luke, this sound okay? I would just go up to Luke and be like, Luke, am I gonna have to ADR this scene? He's like, no, we're fine. I'm like,
okay, I believe you.
I trusted him, but him and I had like a relationship because I'm such a freak about sound because I hate bad sound in movies. I'll turn them off immediately. Bad acting and bad sound, I turn a movie off. It drives him crazy. We'll be 5 minutes in, I'm like, turn it off. I leave the room. I can't watch it. It's unbearable to me.
It sounds like you make films the Marvel way, right? Because the way they did their comic books, like I think it was Stan, right? It was just like, well, a good artist knows how to draw, right? So I just say he flies across the room. And then I don't have to go, right, so he flies. So have him start here and then go up into left and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, let the artist do their thing. I've brought on a great artist, so let them do their thing.
That's how I feel about it. And then if you have an area where you didn't find the right artist, but that's, I think, a big thing that a lot of people don't do is they'll be like, oh, I didn't find the right person for this. It's good enough. I'm not like that. Like if I found the right person in their department, fine, baby. I'll let you go, do your thing. I'm always here. If you do something I don't like, I'm probably going to say something.
Yes.
I say probably. I'm definitely going to say something. But if I didn't find those things, I didn't get like give up mode. I don't give up. I was just like, no, I'll just do it. I'll be crazy and maybe a little unbearable to some people, but I'm going to do it and I'm going to make sure it's done well. That was something in this film that my co-producers were amazing with, because I was just like, it's not good enough. And because also there were so many people who were doing great work. It's an insult to them if this thing didn't get done properly. When you start making those cuts and those sacrifices, they start making those cuts and those sacrifices.
Yes.
As a leader of something, you have to be willing to go, you know, like, you're putting in this work. I want you to know that if I want every department to reach your department, and if they're not, I'm going to be that person that's there making sure that it does. And I always did that in every regard to the film until we got to post, and then I don't know shit about post. The only thing I did was facilitate meetings. We wrapped up this movie, and I was like, okay, we're done. Release it. And they're like, and now the actual process of making a movie starts. And I'm like,
a year of post-production.
A year.
But I think there's something to that, though, right? Because for something to be good, everything has to elevate to the same level.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like when you put up a shelf, you don't have like two of the supports here and one there. Like it doesn't work like that, right? So everything has to be at the same level. You know?
Like the actors, like, especially, you know, because I'm an actor, and it's like I wanted them to come into every set and be wowed. I wanted them to put on a costume and feel like the character. I wanted them, and so they would bring their A game. Like our film needed to bring its A game, so they would bring that. Same with Shayna. It doesn't make sense for her to put her heart and soul into makeup and get paid on the lower end. We're an indie film. Nobody was getting rich from this movie. We were paying everybody, but no one was getting rich. But she would see him holding this thing to go like this, me on the ground with Doug Jones with a smoke machine like this for hours, feeding smoke into things, like creating stuff. And when they see the leaders of a film doing that, because I think a lot of people make that mistake in India. I think they cut a lot of corners. They get tired. They don't, and then they have a great team, but they don't reach the level of their own team. And then their team will start to be like, well, I'm not going to put in that much effort because they're not putting in the effort.
Exactly.
Indie filmmaking is like, it's all for effort. And then you hope and post it. And we got lucky with our post team. Once again, I don't think it's luck. I think it's talent from our team. And like, he was always so great with everybody. But like, you know, you never know. But I think we did kind of know that it was going to be good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I think there's times when you know during the process and you can know early, be like, I think I've got something here.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you don't know until it's done and you're like, oh shit, that's like, oh, that's so good. But yeah, I think you can know. And especially when everyone is bringing so much to the table, it's like there is one workplace that I've had, which my favorite job wasn't the best money, but it was just the best team. And it was like our boss, who is now just a great friend. It was my first management role. Right. And so for years, I'd like worked in places and I've always been like, you know, I've kind of stepped up and helped, but not under the title of, right. And never been given that opportunity. And so, you know, I interviewed for the role and, you know, you're explaining what the vision is. And then when you get given it, you're like, wait, are you sure? You know what I mean? You get it, and then you go into the meeting and you go, yo, so this is the idea, and it's just like, yeah, go do it. You know? Okay, but you just want to then someone's giving you that, so you want to deliver so high, right? You're not trying to drop the ball, and she gave so many of us that first opportunity, so everyone just always was delivering. And we did this conference in Vancouver, and so like we're planning everything remotely, And then we get out there and we're prepping everything and it's just like, it's, you know, you're waking up at 5 a.m, right? To go and you're leaving the conference center at like 8, 9 at night. But although there's a level of stress to it, you just thought, man, this is good.
That's
Like, we have done a good job here, because you knew what, like, you know, the events team were doing, what, you know what I mean? You know what everyone was bringing. So you knew that this was, and then you just saw the reaction of people, right? Walking around and being at the panels and stuff. So you just knew it was going to be good, and everyone was enjoying it. And
I think the crew and the cast getting to watch the monitors and seeing what we're creating, like it, because it would look so like small, and then they looked at the monitors, they're like, "Oh, this is really good." Like, so, like, being able to, like, they were like, "We need to stay good."
One of my favorite moments of like everybody stepping up and being like, I want to do this right now.
The chairs.
Is the chairs.
Yeah,
so
the chairs.
When I wrote the script, I knew when I wrote it, the most difficult scene was going to be the gymnasium when all the chairs go flying. But when I wrote it, I knew we could do it practically. I knew it didn't have to be a visual effect to move the chairs. So I was like, listen, this will be the toughest one to do, but I know we can pull it off. And so we're in this church gymnasium. We have like 250 chairs lined up. And I was like, all right, this is how we can do it. We laced rope in between each row. And then everybody was like, can I pull one? Can I pull one? So
everybody had a rope.
Cast and crew just off camera. And we were like, all right, ready? 1, 2, 3. And then everyone just pulls and runs with it. And you just hear.
Didn't we get it in one take? I think
we did it because we had to do it one side and then the other side. And we did it in, we got it in one, and we got it in one. And the glee of getting to, like, the whole team.
Yeah, the behind the scenes video of that is really fun.
The makeup person,
every person was holding
actors. Yeah, everybody was just like, "Can we do?" And so I was like, "Yeah, all right, team, let's do this."
How many people can we get? And then a fun one was we all had to stand in the middle of it, and everyone had to have a couple of chairs, and then we had a bunch of mats, and then we were just throwing. Everyone just got to throw chairs while the camera took it, and so everyone was just getting probably like therapy out.
But it was
such chairs in the air.
It was such a great moment of, like, we'd come so far in the process. It was on the latter half of filming, and everyone was still there, still wanted to do it, and got to be involved. And that was just a moment, like, as
that was
like
one of our last big weekends.
One of our last big weekends, yeah. And as like team captains, kind of feeling of like the team showed up and everyone wants to be here and have a good time. It's just such a we have some wonderful behind the scenes stuff that should see the light of day someday.
Yeah,
even if it's just on social media, and that's definitely one of those days.
I think definitely the chair one is a really funny video.
Yeah.
And we all just burst into laughing. Like, as soon as you hear the cut, it's just like, ah! Like a football stadium.
Like, how many things on this were new? Like, techniques and styles that you haven't done before, but maybe you'd seen and thought, I could emulate that, or you know, you conceived it and was like, yeah, let's try and see if this can work.
Certainly, I've been involved in well over 100 short films, and willingly and lovingly doing so because it was an opportunity to fine-tune my ability to write things and make them happen on screen, see the final product, and learn. And drawing inspiration from, like, Peter Jackson and Edgar Wright and Hitchcock, like all the great directors, and finding excuses to try their techniques in the stuff that I do.
Yeah.
New stuff we tried in here, the amount of visual effects, the amount of visual effects makeup, all that was a new, wonderful experience at the level we were doing it at. So I don't know if I'd have to think here a moment about if, and I won't waste time by sitting here, but, like, I don't know if there's anything necessarily that was like, oh my God, this is the first time we're attempting this one specific thing with zero point of reference.
Yeah.
I think everything in this movie was based on the foundation of all the indie stuff that led up to this for all of us, and really trusting Matt and the crew to visually and technically achieve something was a dream, and trusting Dani to get the locations that I wrote and the cast that I wanted. So it really was a culmination of lessons learned along the way. And then the new thing was creating something this cool. That's the new thing that came out of this.
Yeah. And
Also, excuses to do oneers. I love oneers. So there's a couple in the movie that are like extended long shots that make me happy because I'm always trying to think of like, that's my theater background coming into play of like, how do we do this all without cutting? And there's at least 2 moments in the movie that are that.
Yeah.
Right.
And I will say, if you ask Matt that question, he'd be like, I had to learn how to do visual effects.
Everything.
So for him, it would be a completely different answer. Because I'm like, nothing. I
Yeah,
didn't have to learn anything. But Matt, I know, I will say that man literally learned visual effects to do the film.
Yeah.
I mean, they look so good. So that's crazy impressive that
Right?
he didn't know how to do it before this. It's insane. I never would have thought that.
Right? He watches YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Like, he's just one of those people.
Learn.
I tried to learn color correction on YouTube videos and I gave up after like a day. I was like, I turned my dog green in a video. I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. And I thought it looked fine. And then it was like, he was like, oh, she's green.
Yeah.
And I was like,
this is why I don't do this.
I was like, it looked fine. So maybe I just don't have the eyes for this. I think it's because I have LASIK.
Yeah, certainly.
Oh, right. Yo, can I just ask, like, if you have time, because you did the costumes, Dani, like wardrobe and everything, and I've never had the chance to ask anyone about that aspect of filmmaking, right? So you read the script, right? And I don't know what level of detail you put into the look in the script, TC, but what was your inspiration for everyone's look? Where did you kind of think, okay, yeah, Pin's gonna have this look and Clara will be this? And
oh, that's so interesting. We had talked about it. I did mood boards and pitched things for people. Like I knew Vera, who is like the, what do you call that, red herring?
Red herring. Yeah,
herring character.
She's the sort of the sultry, witchy looking girl.
Yeah, and so like hers was one of the easier for me because I was like, okay, I wanted to look like this. I wanted to look like fire and brimstone, kind of like religious, like weird thing. So like, and then like, I was really into color palettes. You were starting to say that. I was really into color palettes, I would say. I wanted characters to wear certain colors, and that's kind of where I started it. Right. And then based on just my experience, honestly, I think my wardrobing style was based on my acting style, which was like, okay, if I were acting in this, what do I think of this? Like, how would I wardrobe this in an audition? Mm-hmm. And then showing it to him and being like, this is the color palette I'm thinking for this character. I wanted every group kind of to have their color palettes and then individual colors in that. Yeah,
you did an amazing thing where Clara and Pin have blues and Miles doesn't. And at the end of the movie, Miles is wearing their colors.
Yeah, so yeah, he kind of joins their like trying to like help with that. And then the Brennan group, they all have splashes of red.
Yeah.
Abby was like on a neutral palette of like warm tones.
Yeah.
Be like Earth Mother. I always call it. I have a love of Earth moms.
She does play like that. Because when you think, like, she does play like that.
She's like a mother figure for him, but like a real mom, like a type of mom that tells you no, or is like like a strong, like. Not saying that moms now aren't strong, but it seems like on TV their moms are portrayed as just like these. And I was like, no, my mom was an excellent mother, but she was tough. Like she could make my butthole clench, my heart drop with her lips pursing, and I don't have any memory of her hurting me. I just knew if I didn't do something, that like there was something bad that was going to happen, and I just kind of like. That's a mom to me, and that's like the moms I want to see. Like Lady Bird, I thought did like the best representation of a mother-daughter relationship.
Yeah.
That's actually a mom and daughter. That's what it's like. It's deep, deep love, but man, there's some problems there. Yeah, wardrobe rights, and then it was creating mood boards, and then pitching the mood boards first to him, and then when he was on board, and he was always. I think you're pretty much always on board.
Pretty quick.
Yeah. And then I would do it with the actor, and then we talk about it, and then it would be like, what do you have? What do I like? And then we kind of build it from there. So it definitely color palettes because I wanted the movie to have similar feels, but I also wanted
Yeah.
like everybody to feel different.
Mhm.
So yeah, red for warning. You know what I mean? I always try to like look at the meanings of colors and kind of try to put that into why people would be that color.
Right.
Half
Right.
the thing's wardrobe is mine.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
None of those clothes are mine. Clara, I had to buy all those clothes. I don't think I wore a single. I don't think I had a single thing that I liked for her, which is crazy because she's just like normal. Says the girl who wears lace in an interview. Speaking of which, I actually have to get going, unfortunately.
Oh no way. Yeah, we
So
can.
sorry.
No, I just talk. So yeah, we can cut. It's all gravy. No, look, the film is like it is so well thought out. It's so well put together. Like it's a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean? You do so many things right that big budget films do wrong.
Hey, that means a
And
lot to me.
oh man, it's one of those films that I would buy
Thank you.
because I enjoyed it that much. Like I would pick
Yeah.
this up for sure.
Well,
And
we hope that other people feel the same way. Like we made something for us, but we made something that we feel like it's a horror movie for people who might not love horror.
No, I can tell you now, right? I know a lot of my friends, you know, I've got a group, like we all enjoy similar things, you know, comic books and certain comic book stories, and I know they would thoroughly enjoy this film,
Good,
right?
great.
And it's just that production, the act, just every aspect of it, people will love this film for sure. I know, man. So let them know how they can watch it.
Oh, great. Well, do you want to plug away?
Amazon. You can watch it on Amazon. You can watch it on Apple. You can watch it on Fandango. You can watch it on YouTube. The biggest ones I would say right now are Amazon and Apple.
And if you happen to watch it on Amazon, it does not hurt us at all if you'd like to do a review as well. So
it helps indie filmmakers.
Call to
write a
action. Call to
review.
action.
Yeah. Yeah, those would be the places that you can watch the movie.
Yeah.
For the next 3 months, and then it'll be more places.
We will find it'll find a home on a streamer in the next little while, but for now, Apple and Amazon and some of those other out YouTube. But yeah, Apple and Amazon are probably the key places to go check it out right now.
Okay. And how can people keep track of what you're doing?
Go ahead. Plug your socials.
Oh.
If you want to keep up with me,
unless you want to see pictures of my dog and scuba diving, I wouldn't.
If you want to find me over on Instagram, you can find me at TC's Big Head. But you can also find me through the Studio Demands It podcast, which I do with my writing partner, Jim. And it's a screenwriting show. So if you want to hear us discuss the craft of storytelling, we do a lot of comic book talk and a lot of IP talk. But it's the Studio Demands It on Spotify and Apple. You can reach me through those two ways, and I'm always happy to talk movies and geek out about storytelling with anyone who's interested. And as the Demon Detective gets out into the world and grows, you can certainly keep track of that through those social medias right there.
Tremendous. Well, people, all the links will be on the website, so make sure you go follow TC. Definitely check out that podcast. I'm subscribing for sure.
Yeah, all right.
The film, because this truly is a fantastic thing. So people go do that. Dani, TC, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Kevin. This was really fun.
Awesome. And come back when you have new projects to talk about, please.
Hey, absolutely. You won't be able to get rid of me.
Awesome.
He's got a project coming out. Oh,
I do. Awesome, man. Thank you, guys.
I
hope you enjoy the rest of your day and all the success with the film.
Thank you so much. Yeah, appreciate it.
Take care.
Bye.